I think, how to overcome the evil one, the devil, Satan's, schemes to discourage me, especially, with anxiety and
Yeah.
time and energy, just so much emotion wrapped up. How do I overcome Satan's discouragement and the things that are happening?
Yeah, that's a good question. And two things at the very beginning I want us to understand with that, and when the question of how do we overcome Satan's you know pressure to feel discouraged and put down and all the things that Satan would love to lie to us about and make us feel. Two things here. One, victory is possible in Jesus Christ. I just want you to know that victory is possible. We do not, as followers of Jesus Christ, live in a defeated state where we can't do anything about it. We're powerless, and there's no victory in this. It's just our life. We're just going to live in a bad place. That no, we can have victory in Jesus Christ. I want as well you to hear this, that the battle will not end while you and I are living. I wish it would. I wish this was a one time, well, we got victory and then we're done. We won the victory. I've overcome in Jesus Christ, and that thing that was a struggle for me, God has given me victory over that place in my life and over that situation. And so now we're good to go the rest of life. Now the battle continues, and victories can continue to come. And the way that those come is a little varied, actually, because in different situations. But they come through finding that we are putting into our life the good. So if were to come back to the drawing here, and this is a life thing, but this is also an area of how do we understand the things that I need to go. If Satan is lying, if Satan is trying to discourage me, if Satan is giving me all kinds of problems in my life, then how is it that I can do that? Because he's trying to create maybe draw it this way, that if this is the world here, and there is all kinds of brokenness in the world, and it's a mess, and then how is it that I can find, whether it's in the world or in my world, my life, how can I bring wholeness when this is just kind of continuing to be all of this struggle in my life? And I think what we need to understand is that the battle here will continue to come. I cannot and I will not be able to control what's coming in against me, the messages I am around. However, what's happening on the inside is where God can reign and do it. And so I can say, you know what, God, my life is really struggling because of the pressures that I'm feeling and these voices that I'm hearing. And I recognize, and this is maybe important, I recognize that that's not from you. That's not the voice of God in here. This is not the way God talks. I understand that, and I understand that this is not the way I want to live. So I'm recognizing this is Satan here speaking. He's trying to discourage me. And once I begin to understand that it's not God speaking those messages to me, and it's not even myself, this is not the way I want to live, then I can begin to say, okay, those things continue to be on the outside, trying to break into my life, but I'm going to have something on the inside pushing out against those. And that is some key things. One, it's that I'm trusting that Jesus is central in my life. It's also that I have people around me in this who are helping me to feel the encouragement. When I begin to feel all broken up, that I've got places to turn, and that I am filling my life with God's truth, because this is going to give me some place to be able to counter those things. In our world today, one of the struggles that I think we have is that there is so much input into our heads and in voices that we have very little time where there's not messages coming at us. And we have to understand those are not all like evil messages from Satan, but we have to understand that there is a lot coming at us. And if we are not balancing that with some time internally that is giving me a foundation to be able to push back, to understand what of these messages on the outside should I let come in because they're helpful, and which ones do I need to just say, oh, stop right there, that's not helpful. That is going to lead me down a path that's wrong. This is true of temptations as well, that if we allow temptations to sit in our life and we continue to feed on them, they will begin to take up space in our life. And what we need to do is we need to begin to fill our life more and more through prayer, through God's help, through different ways. We need to be filling our life with good so that it is pushing back the lies and the discouragement. And a part of being in God's word is there's some amazing promises. And we just need to maybe get them into our head so that when I begin to feel this, I've got the truth of God right here. And I can say, you know what though? That's not the way God wanted me to live. God said that he's got good things for me. God said that he values me. God said that he has a plan for my life. God said that he loved me so much that he would send his son. Now, when I begin to fill my life with those messages, then the messages of Satan and the discouragement that comes begins to be diminished because I've got a place to understand that how I can fight against that. And one of those ways that for many of us, maybe not everyone, but I would say for many of us, is a beautiful and a helpful way, is to have music that would fill our place. There are lots of music out there, but I would say this is where it is helpful to have music because it touches the heart at a deeper level than just mental thinking. So it's truth that goes deep down in and touches my heart. And when we have music that honors and raises up God and reminds us of these things, they sit in our life in a beautiful way. And I mention that because I find that to be a helpful thing, that I just need to sometimes just pause, put on some music that's going to get me back into reminding myself of the truth and the beauty of God, his love for me, to fight against the lies of Satan that would like to discourage and bring me down, and to remind me that he is doing good things around me. And when I begin to change my perspective, not a positive thinking thing, but to God's spiritual perspective, then I'm able to understand this world in a much better way.